lights flashed on and the back door was pushed open. Now see, what Rohan was doing. Rohan was running around the banyan tree in him and he was shouting, isn't it? He was continuously repeating the lines. That means unke munke timpektu 17 times. So Mrs. Groover, she must have heard this sound, and now what happened? She lights were on and she opened the door, the backside door of her house, and she started asking, "Who is there?" Called Mrs. Groover. "Answer, or I will send the dog at you." "Mook, mook," I mumbled. So now what happened? What did she say? Who is there? She must have thought that a robber must have come to their house, or maybe because at midnight no one comes from the backyard, isn't it? No normal guest will come jumping from the backside. What did she say? "Whoever it is, tell your name, or else I'm going to send the dog at you." Okay, and the dog, what will the dog do? The dog will go and bite, isn't it? So Mook, Mook, I mumbled, said, say something. But Mook was climbing up the tree. When I saw Mrs. Groover bend down to unleash the dog, I pleaded. Now, what Mrs. Groover was to do? Mrs. Groover was going to unleash the dog. Unleash means she was going to release the dog. That means to go and pounce on Mook and Rohan. At that time, what Rohan said, Rohan pleaded. That means Rohan started asking for help. That means, "Sorry, please don't send the dog at us. I will explain you everything if you let me." So what did Rohan say? That please do not send the dog at us. The dog will come and bite us. So please at least listen to me what I want to say. So what did Mrs. Groover said? "Speak out soon," she shouted. I told her everything. I feared she might not believe me, but she listened to me without interruption. So now he told the entire story to Mrs. Groove, why he came here, what he wanted, what was his objective behind coming and chanting Unke Munke Timpik too. But what he thought, that she's a principal and she's not going to believe in me, because this is not a thing which is believable. Okay, if anyone tells us to do this and our wish will come true, even we will not believe it, isn't it? But Mrs. Groover, she did not interrupt in between. She did not tell him that what you're doing is very wrong or something. But she listened to him, whatever he is saying, without any interruption. She just looked at me with the hard, light green eyes of hers, as if she was trying to see right into my heart. So she asked finally, "And you believe in Unke Minke Timpet too? Do you think it will help?" What did she ask Rohan? That does he really believe in this? Does he believe that after saying unke munke timpaktu, his wish is going to be fulfilled? So what did Rohan do here? Rohan, I dropped my head and said softly, "I hope it will." What did Rohan say? That I think if I do this, it might be true. Well, she returned. "If you believe so, go and finish your rounds." She turned, saying, and while leaving, "Would you mind using the front gate?" Now, see, she even supported Rohan in this. She did not say that this is very wrong. Whatever you're doing is not true. Just get out of my house. She did not say this. Instead, she said to Rohan that if you are thinking it, if by doing this your wish will come true, then you go and complete your rounds. Because see, he was taking the rounds, and at that point of time only, Mrs. Groover came and started shouting, isn't it? So she told him that, okay, if you're believing in it, right? So go and complete your rounds, and while going back, do not jump again and go from the backyard, but you can use the front gate and go. See, she told this in a polite manner. I did finish the remaining 6 rounds and left her garden using the front gate. I swore that I would never return. So what did Rohan do? Rohan completed his round, and Rohan moved from the front gate as it was suggested by Mrs. Groover. And while moving out, he swear, that means he took a promise that he will never again return here. And then the great moment came. Great moment came means Rohan's birthday had arrived. I opened my gifts, rejoiced my new pair of shoes and the hand knitted pullover. Now, this was given to him by his mother. And then my eyes fell on a parcel, a big parcel. Now, see what gift was his mother going to give him that he already got. But at that time only, he saw something else there. What did he see? He saw a big parcel. Now, what was in that parcel? Let us see that. I had never received such a big parcel earlier. To Rohan Khanna, I read from Unke Munke Timpettu. Now, now see what happened. On the table, there was a big parcel, and Rohan, he had never received such parcel in his life. And on that parcel, what was written? Whenever we give a parcel to anyone or we receive, the name is mentioned over there, right? So even here on the parcel, the name was mentioned. That is, this parcel is given to Rohan Khanna, and from whom it is given? From Unke Munke Timpettu. So I stared at Muk, and he also looked at surprised as I was. Now they both were at surprise. That is it true? Now just because we did that round, we have got this parcel. Even they were in a shock. They were very much surprised. My mother asked, "Who is Unke Munke Timpettu? Isn't that an unusual name?" Now, even his mother started asking Rohan that Unke Munke Timpettu. Now, what is this Unke Munke Timpettu? We have never heard of such name. Because, see, even when we give presents or when we receive presents, we do not get any unknown names. Okay, we get gifts only from the people whom we know. So, even his mother asked him that, "Who is Unke Munke Timpettu?" "Yes," I said, "very unusual indeed." I bent over the parcel and began to unpack it. I removed the strings and the papers impatiently. Finally, I removed the colorful gift wrapping and found a table tennis set. So now Rohan, he was very much excited, very much impatient to open the gift. So what he did, he opened that gift, and what he found in that gift? He found a table tennis set. It was not a brand new table tennis set, but it was a fabulous one. Now I whispered just, "Wow." Till today, Muk swears that he has nothing to do with it, and so do my parents. So, what Rohan thought that maybe just because I told Muk regarding my wish, he send the gift or his parents. But what Muk told him that no, I have nothing to do with this gift. That means I have not given this gift, nor did I tell my parents, and even they have not given this gift. So see, now everyone has a question in their mind that what is the possibility? How did they get this gift? I wondered if old Mrs. Groover was responsible for this surprise. Now, see, regarding their plan about Unke Munke Timpuktu, about this thing, only three people were knowing about it. That is Rohan, his friend Muk, and Mrs. Groover. So now Muk told that he has nothing to do with this parcel. So Rohan started thinking that maybe there is something connected with Mrs. Groover. I wondered for a very long time. That means for a very long time he started thinking about it, that who has given me this parcel? Is it really Mrs. Groover or not? He was continuously thinking about it. And one day what he did was, one day I gathered up all the courage I possessed and went to meet Mrs. Groover. Now see, they were very scared of Mrs. Groover, and by leaving from Mrs. Groover's gate also, what did he do? He had already thought that he will never enter Mrs. Groover's gate, right? So, but now he had to ask this because a thought was continuously disturbing him. Okay, he had got the gift which he had wished, but he was in a question that who has given it? What is the who? Did my wish really come true because of chanting Unke Munke Timpaktu? Okay, so many questions was in his mind. So one day, what he did, one day he decided that he will go to Mrs. Groover's house and he will ask the same question to. So he gathered up all the courage and he went to Mrs. Groover's house. I used the front gate and rang the bell. Now see, he did this time, he did not jump from the backyard, but he used the front gate and he even rang the doorbell. I had gone over my lines 100 times, but when she looked down me with her pale green eyes, I felt my heart sink and my courage vanished. That means, see, he had taken up all the courage and he went to Mrs. Groover, thinking that he's going to ask for everything. But as soon as he went to Mrs. Groover, what happened? Whatever he thought in his mind, he had practiced those lines several times that he's going to ask this to Mrs. Groover. But as soon as she looked at her, we saw in the start as well, one look from her, and everyone used to get very scared. So even now, the same thing happened. Whatever he had thought, whatever he was thinking, whatever courage he took, everything was vanished. That means everything started to disappear. His courage was disappearing. And all I could do was stutter like an idiot. Stutter means, see, when we get scared, we continuously repeat the same things. Okay, we continuously repeat the same sounds like stammering. So even he got very scared, even though he was well prepared. He was getting very scared, and then see what he told. Good afternoon, madam. Do you, I mean, did you, have you, sorry? But see, he started using such words. That means he was very much scared. He was very much scared, and that's why he was not confident in speaking, and he started repeating. He started to talk continuously by repeating and using the same sounds. Then what did he say? Do you believe in unke munke timpaktu? Mrs. Groover continued to look at me with a strange look in her eyes. She replied softly but seriously, yes, I do believe in unke munke timpak too, because I had wished to have somebody over for tea today, and here you are. See, what did Mrs. Groover tell when he asked Mrs. Groover, do you believe in unke munke timpak too? What she said is, yes, I believe, because today I was wishing that somebody should come for tea, come to have tea with me today, and I was just wishing this, and you entered here. See, now even there was no possibilities of Mook ever coming to Mrs. Groover's house because of her strictness, because of her angry attitude. So, but even she replied that I was thinking that somebody will come to my house for tea today, and you came here. See, my wish is also fulfilled, and here you are. Now, isn't it a perfect example of unke munke timpak too? Now, see, she used the same idea what Rohan wanted. Now, Rohan wanted this thing. Rohan had chanted Unke Munke Timpaktu, and Rohan's wish was fulfilled. So even she told Rohan that even I was wishing to have somebody for tea today, and you are here. That means, see, even my wishes come true. She smiled and um, she looked so different, almost human. That means, now see, earlier everyone was very scared at her. Everyone used to think that like she's a ghost who's to scare everyone. But today Rohan thought that she is also a kind natured human being. And from that day onward, Mook and I went to see old Mrs. Groover quite often. That means even she started liking them, even they started liking their principal, because nature actually was very good. And now see, now even now no one knows who had given the gift, but we can assume that there is a possibility that Mrs. Groover must have given Rohan the gift. But she did not tell it in this way as well. What she did, she say, you believed in that, and that is the reason your wish was fulfilled. And she gave her own example by uh, stating that. And after that, what happened? Rohan and Mook, who were very scared of Mrs. Groover, they became friends with her. And after that, what happened? Every time after that, they started visiting Mrs. Groover's house. And not only because she made the best tea and had the best cookies, no, we went because we liked her. And then we all had one thing in common. We all believed in unke munke timpettu. Now, see, after that, what happened? No one was scared of each other. They were not scared of Mrs. Groover. They were very happy, and every time they used to go, she used to prepare the best tea and even give them the best cookies. And what was the one thing in common? They all believed in the saying, "Unke munke timpettu." Okay, so this is all about the story of Muk. who believed in Unke Munke Timpettu and his wish was granted. A very funny story, okay, a superstitious story as well. You see, we do not believe in such things, but it is said that if you believe, even your wish will come true. Okay, that is the highlight of the lesson. I hope you all have understood the lesson. A very interesting and funny story with a funny title as well, right? So with this, we complete with the explanation part of Unke Munke Timpettu.